Happy and blessed 2025. Isn't God great? Isn't God good? Hasn't He been faithful throughout the year 2024? And we are here today with a grateful heart saying thank you, God, for another brand new chapter of our lives. So from wherever you are, we wish you a very happy new year as we start our first financial clinic episode today show, and it is about financial resolutions on the first day of 2025 January. What are some of your resolutions as a person? What are you planning to do in your journey, in your finances? How is your plan looking like? You're getting to understand that even better because I have amazing guests in studio with me, a gentleman and a lady who are so knowledgeable. So, it's all about money. If you talk about money, you talk to them. I mean, their names have to come up. So talk to me on 203160786. 316 is our WhatsApp number. Engage us and let us get to know what are some of your resolutions. And once again, Happy New Year and welcome to the show. Mr. Wahome Ngari, karibuni sana.
Happy New Year. What a great opportunity to be here this new year. Fresh season, a fresh start. My name is Wahome Ngari. I'm the founder of the Personal Finance Academy. I'm an author. I have this beautiful book to my name. And my business is just making people grow better with money.
Fantastic.
So that they can have the financial intelligence, make financial decisions with a lot of comfort. And we do that through financial literacy programs.
Amazing.
Individuals, families, or groups.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Mary.
Happy New Year. My name is Mary Okeo. I'm glad to be here.
Yes.
And I'm happy to start the year on a high note, talking about money and money matters, Yeah, so I'm a financial expert, a coach, and a trainer.
Wow.
Yes, and I find joy in talking to individuals, groups, corporates, and families about money matters.
Okay.
Because by the end of the day, everybody wants to be better.
Absolutely. Very true. Very true. And so, we go straight into our topic of the day. This is day one, and I'm sure by last night, 31st, everybody was like, Mimi, from 2025. But before we get into financial resolutions 2025, Mr. Wahome, what is the difference between, financial resolutions and financial goals?
Let's go in.
Yeah.
A new year brings fresh opportunity, fresh breath. We can break from the past. We can go for new things. Resolution is like saying, this is the direction I'm going to take. Resolution is all about my dreams and my aspirations.
Yeah.
Goals narrow it down to specifics. What is the specific item? Yes, I want to go to Nairobi, but where?
Okay.
You can actually be in a town and say, I'm going to Nairobi. But when you get to Nairobi, you must be specific where you're going.
Okay.
So resolutions are general.
Yes.
And that's why we have resolutions on health. We have resolutions on spirituality. You have resolutions in finances. And then you have to be specific. If it is spirituality, is it that I'll be more prayerful? And how many times? Is it that I'm going to take up a course? I'll participate in Jumia? When it is finances, what are the specific issues that are real serious focus on? That's where financial goals come in. And we're going to look at financial goals in better detail so we can understand how we set the financial goals.
Okay. Mary, what are some of the common financial resolutions maybe people just make,
Okay, so before even I go to the resolutions people make,
right.
You'll agree with me that one of the words that is commonly abused when the year begins is the resolution, the word resolution. Because you find we get the psyche because it's a new year, I want to do new things, but everything ends on paperwork. And that's what the difference between resolution and a goal.
Okay.
If it's just a resolution on paperwork, now you have to put it in action, then it becomes a goal.
You actionate it. Okay.
But if it's just a resolution that you want to do something different on paperwork and without action, then it is abused.
Okay.
And that's how we normally abuse that word. So in any aspect of life, be it financial, as Mr. Wahome has said, be it financial, be it spiritual, be it health-wise and everything. If you just leave everything up to the point of paperwork and having them in your mind, then it does not help in any way.
Okay. Common common resolutions that people make when it comes to money?
Yeah, when it comes to money, people make several resolutions. And especially when the year begins like right now. Number one, people tend to say, I'm going to save more when it comes to the new year.
Okay.
I'm going to spend wisely. I'm going to have a budget. I'm going to pay the debts. You see, just in touching.
Yeah.
So those are some of the common resolutions that people, they write down.
Okay.
That I'm going to do this. But until you action on them, that is when there's a difference.
All right.
Sure.
Okay. Wahome, what is it about? What is the importance of actually having these financial resolutions at a time like this, especially?
When we're starting the new year,
a
new opportunity, they give us focus.
Yes.
We get an idea where we want to be, so, and that's why we have to be specific. If you're looking at savings, how much are we saving? But when are we saving this money? Where are we saving money?
Okay.
How much are we saving? Is it every week? Is it every day? You get focus and you get financial discipline when you have the resolutions. When you have the goals set out, you can actually be able now to put milestones to measure where you're going. It also changes your conduct and your habits of how you're going to deal with the money.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know, Maureen, we have the short term, is it middle and even long term financial resolutions?
Sure.
So how do you balance the three out?
Okay, how you balance them out is, number one, you must understand your why.
Okay.
When you understand your why, you'll get the how. So why are you making this financial resolution?
Yeah.
Have you been abusing your money? Have you been misusing or mishandling your money? Have you been saving? If not, then why do you want to save?
Okay.
You know, the reason why most people find it difficult to save is that they don't have the why. So if you don't have the why, then even the how, it will be...
Yeah, you can't have the how.
Yeah, you can't have the how. So once you have the why, it will enable you to know the how and for how long.
Okay.
So that brings us to the goals from the, is it, am I going to do a short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals?
Okay.
Because once you know the how long, it will determine the where you're going to save and how you're going to save and how much.
Okay. Okay.
So understanding that aspect, and that can also only be guided through by a financial expert. So we can advise on where should you save for this particular why.
Okay.
And for how long.
All right.
Because if you are saving for maybe a goal like a mortgage, for example, that you will have to have a specific vehicle to put this money.
All right.
So that it will serve the purpose for that mortgage. But if you are saving for the short term, like a holiday is a short term goal,
all right,
you'll not put it in a long term vehicle. So understanding your why, your how, and where will enable you to merge all those goals together and make sure that you achieve them.
All right.
Sure.
Mr. Wahome, now there's, you know, a question that a lot of people are asking, and I'm saying, like, is it important to assess someone's financial health, you know, quote unquote, financial health, before you get into now making the resolutions? And how do you do that?
That's a good thing. I mean, if you looked at physical health, and you wanted to get into physical fitness, the exercises you will get engaged in will be a function of your ability. It's not everybody who can run a 42-kilometer marathon. It is not everybody who can do 100 dash. It's not everybody who can lift 100 kilos. So you must assess where you are. And it's very important to assess where you are because that makes it easier for you to focus on achievables, things that you can. So when you're looking at your financial health, you're saying, what are the income streams that I have? What monies am I discussing? Because you're working on resources. What are these resources? I have a salary of how much? I have, I'm a member of a SACCO and I'll get a dividend check. I have bought shares and I'll get a dividend check. I have these resources. Those are the resources for which we are planning out with the goals and with our resolutions, so we can optimize, we can get best value. So you have to start by saying, what is it I'm working with? What resources do I have at hand? In fact, when are they coming? Because you're going to have, maybe your SACCO is going to give you a dividend check in April, Now, you know, in April, I have these resources. In July, the shares I bought, I'll get a bonus.
Of course.
In my chama this month, I'll get so much. Now, you actually even can see the flow out. When you're setting your goals, you're very clear where the money is going to come from. If you set your goals and you have not paid attention to the resources, then achieving them becomes impossible.
Okay.
Because you're going to find you don't have the resources. And if you try to push, something else is going to give because you already have commitments. So you're looking at the resources you have. You're also looking at what are your normal expenses that you have to deal with. You cannot go into saving at the expense of buying food or transport.
Right.
You must bear in mind what these are. You must look at your habits and say, what am I doing that I can stop so that those resources are available for attending to something else. Very, very important.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Would you like to add something to that? Or?
Yeah, because actually the money we receive, it has got two purposes.
Okay.
It is food for today and seed for tomorrow. And what Mr. Wahome has said, it makes a lot of sense because you will not forgo the food for today because you want to sort the seed for tomorrow. You just have to strike a balance and see where can you cut so that you can have both.
Okay. And I think that will bring me to budgeting. Is budgeting important in this particular space of financial resolution? Is it important to have a budget as we start the year for most of us?
Very important. Very important. Okay. Because you see, a budget is the roadmap.
Okay.
Is the roadmap, and it will guide you and tell you where money goes. Yeah. It will help you know which areas you need to improve on. It's like your backbone. It's like the backbone of your financial structure. So if the backbone is not strong enough, then your financial structure will be weak. So you need to pay more attention on your budget.
Okay.
It's very important, especially now that the year is beginning. It is important to pay attention to your budget and make sure that every element of your budget is looked into keenly and paid the necessary attention and given the necessary attention.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Wahome, you know, there's prioritizing, like for you to, is that part of the budgeting and the priorities? How do you know that, you know, this is what I'm supposed to do first, then this, then is budget top first? Is savings top first? Is just taking care of debt first? What do you deal with first to organize yourself? Budget
is everything.
Okay.
It is the tool, like we just been told, to make sure that you have optimal use for the resources at hand. So budget is a tool.
Okay.
Now remember, national government budgets, corporates budgets. How can it be an individual or family doesn't budget? It is so key. It is so central. And you know, when you talk about government or corporates, you know, they hire CPAs, people who've been trained for many years to do that. Now, at a personal level, this is something maybe we have learnt it the hard way, you know, from the College of Hard Knocks, because they didn't teach us in school. So it is a very, very important thing to be able to do, because this is where now we do prioritization. As we're doing our prioritization, we have needs, we have wants, and we have all the others. So it is important to say, these are the bare minimums that I have to do. And when we get our resources will actually go severed way easily. In our budget purpose is just to make sure that that severed way is adhered to.
Yeah, but here someone is with some money. For example, I have some money, some amount, lump sum, and I have debts to take care of, and I have savings to do. What do I do first? Do I save, then I'll pay later, or do I pay my debts as I also save? How does that work?
What significantly impacts your financial life? That's a question you answer. What will significantly influence my financial life? Because then that helps you with the prioritization. Can you imagine if you paid your debt and you didn't pay rent? Can you see the problem you put yourself in? If you actually paid the entertainment bill and forgot to pay school fees, and that is why you must be able to do priorities. As you're doing your priorities, you must be able to know what we call the cashiers in life. You know, where your money goes every other month. You have to pay to the kingdom of God. Your alms, your tithes, your offerings have to be paid. And if you're stealing from God, God is very clear. You cannot be stealing from God. You must pay your taxes. because the taxman is expecting.
Yeah.
And you know, we are well commanded to pay our taxes when they are due. And
there
are ways of reducing our tax burden. The second thing is you must be able to deal with your needs. You must take care of your lifestyle, the things that are important that have to be dealt with in your lifestyle. As you take care of your lifestyle, you take care of those around you, you know, the ones who are immediate to you. As you do that, now comes in the community, their community issues. But you must never forget personal development. You must make yourself better. And then we have savings and investments. In all those 7 places, you prioritize what is important, what has to be done. And that is why part of budgeting is optimizing the resources and saying we can reduce here so that we have resources for here. I have debts to pay. I have savings to do. Now, if I don't pay this debt, what's the consequence? Is it very severe? Because if it's very severe, that means let's deal with this debt, then we can do these savings. But there sometimes you have debts that you can say, although I have these debts, I also need to do saving, because if I don't do savings, I'll get into more debt. I need to save school fees for my children. If I don't do that and the school term opens, now I'll get into a bigger debt, because I can't wait. So that whole process, and that's what we've been told. If you find it difficult to do it yourself, you actually look for an expert to work with. You look for a financial tool to help you in that process. Once you're able to do that, then you know the new year will be smooth and flowing.
Mr. Wahome spoke about, you know, ways of looping in your family. And someone has asked a question, Marine. How do you get them to even teach these young people, our children, about money? Behind the cameras, Wahome said, you know, we didn't have this opportunity, but now that it is there, he thinks it's not too early to teach these people. How do you do that?
You'll agree with me, Sally, that one of the reasons why we struggle a lot with issues of money is the definition we got when we were in school about money. What was the definition? Money is a medium of exchange, right? So for us, we grew up knowing that when you get money, you should be exchanging for goods and services. And that's why most people grew up knowing that money is meant for consumption only. So whenever they have money, they look for somewhere they can spend it, because it's a medium of exchange. And now we have to unlearn those. We have to unlearn that and make sure that we teach our children the right definition of money. Money is a tool that you can use to meet your goals, the life goals. And the way you're going to teach your children is through your habits. That's number one. Because if your habits does not resonate with whatever you're telling them, that it will be so hard for them to learn. So when you talk about things to do with budgeting, when you talk about priority, what do you prioritize? You know, if you're in debt and you're not saving, you'll end up in the same cycle. Because you are repaying debts, then what if an emergency happens? What will happen? And you don't have any emergency fund account? You'll borrow, right? So which means the cycle of being in debt continues. So when even as you prioritize, your priority when you are budgeting should be on savings. So you save first, and after saving, of course, the tithe and everything we pay, and then whatever is left, do your savings.
So your children are watching?
They're watching. Teach them how to save. On their birthdays, buy for them the piggy banks. Teach them that you can put aside some money for whatever thing you want to buy. Then after you've saved, then start paying your debts. After you've paid your debts, now spend expenses, the bills. Pay your bills, and now the support. But now, the unfortunate bit is most people start from the bottom up. It's now the real bottom up. Let me use that word. People start from down, coming up, so that by the time they get to the point they've paid their debts, there's no savings. Then they end up in the same cycle. Another way of teaching our children is by teaching them that there's something called delayed gratification. You can miss to have fun now, but you can have the fun the following month. It's okay. It is not wrong. So you also teach them on delayed gratification, because you don't have to have everything.
They ask for something
as at when you want them, you know. And those are some of the things that make us get into debts. And also prioritization of our of our needs and wants. Another thing is also we must teach our children to start early in life. Don't wait, because the cost of delay is very expensive.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, very well said. And I'm sure our parents, you know, listening and even watching are really picking this. And it's a good way to start the year with our children, really, just to teach them that today is day one. Actually, from today, put your K20 bob or whatever it is, you know, and let them start saving. Mr. Wahome, how do you then, you know, how do you track these financial resolutions? Because, you know, maybe you put them down, you know, how do you now track them? It's like goals, kind of. How do you track your resolutions?
I think it's very easy. One of the things that we said, put them in writing. But for each one you put in writing, have a review date. When am I reviewing this? There must be a review date. Okay. So we put them down in writing. We have a review date. Okay. We also need an accountability partner. Okay. We must be I know we want to be accountable to God, but can we have God's representatives around us? And one of the greatest accountability partners can be your children, if you have children. Because children are very good. Innocently, they will remind you, Mommy, you said, Daddy, you said. And they don't forget. And there's no malice. It's no malice in it. You told them that you're going to buy me a bike when I do well in school. And when they do well in school, they will bring you the report card. You see, exceeding expectations.
Exactly.
If you hadn't started saving, what will you do?
You have to start saving.
Your spouse. And it is important that spouses engage and speak about these things. Because these are your partners in life. If you have a mentor, you know, if you have a comrade, you know, somebody who is close by, you when you put all these mechanisms in place, you will actually find it easier to achieve your objectives easily. There's a date called 14th February, which is not very far from now. It's Valentine. For some reason, resolutions work very well until Valentine comes. I don't know what Valentine does. I don't know, because it comes in red. If you meet people in March, they've almost stopped doing the things they say they were going to do. They say they were going to be saving, they are not saving. They say they were going to do exercise, they are not exercising, and things are foreign. When you have the accountability system, it works. And there are easier things. You have agreed with your children that we are saving. You even gone to the shop, you bought the piggy bank. As we say our prayer at the end of the day, we put in something there with prayers. You know, after a month or 2 weeks, we can actually find out what we have, and we can even move it into another vehicle. Again, depending on the age of the child. You know, we want to work with the age of the child. When they're very young, it's fun to put in the money. Teenagers will not see that fun. You need to move them to another vehicle that can actually do much better for them. Maybe move them to a money market fund and help them at the end of the month to see it has grown from X to X plus Y. And you're going to see fun about that. Encourage them, and you're going to find they're there. Involve them. Involve them. If you're doing shopping, why don't you get children to actually put together the shopping list for you? You know, they can run around the house and they can tell you, oh, we are out of cooking flour, we are out of oil. And this is going to help them with what we call instant gratification. They will realize these are the priority things that we need, and this is the money we have to use. And you know, when you go to the shop, they become part of your shopping, and they can even help you do something we call comparison shopping. They can tell the price differences or different ranges. That means the lessons you're teaching them, the way you're teaching them, you make it fun. And if you make it fun, they will learn faster and they'll get you to achieve the goals. Every time you achieve a goal, with them or without them, one of the ways of making goals happen, celebrate. Every goal you achieve, please celebrate. It can be you can come together all on your knees and say thank you to God. After that, we can go and buy that pizza we've been looking out for. We can do that trip. When you celebrate, you send a message to yourself. I am capable. I have done this one. I can do another one. You send a message to those around you. Oh, we can do it, and we do another one. When you're able to do one, you give yourself the momentum to even do a bigger one. And that is why we celebrate. Celebrate also marks done. You know, you have a stamp, done. So you can't keep telling us you have a new car 6 months down the road. Now that car is old. So you must go to something else. You must go to something else. That momentum makes it easier for us to continuously achieve goals.
Quite insightful,
Yes.
quite insightful. And I like what you said, because I see my daughter, the youngest, she's very keen on those things you're saying. You go for shopping, and you know, most of the time we pick brands, Blue Band, what, and you find Prestige or whatever other thing, they're just the same thing. The prices,
Yes.
yeah. So I love that. Actually, they make you accountable.
And that's how they learn. They learn when you involve them.
Yeah.
They learn when
True.
it becomes fun.
Absolutely.
They learn when there's a payback, there's a reward. If you can make a savings of 1,000 shillings, you know, we can enjoy a pizza. Yeah.
Nice.
Now you see, now we will be very keen to make a saving. Now tomorrow,
Nice
when
tip.
we make a saving, we do not necessarily have to buy a pizza. Now we can save that in the piggy bank.
Yes.
You see, we are moving.
We are
so that by
moving.
the time we come to the end of the year, we even have savings. If it was that trip we wanted to do, at least the fuel is available.
Wow, very well said. Okay, so that's family, you know, involving them and all. Maureen, so how do you do this as a family? Just, you know, how do you now bring them into this now? What, apart from there was the shopping bit, but how do you sit now and discuss, these are the resolutions that we want to have as a family?
Okay, as a family means even the spouse?
Yes, the spouse, and, the children.
And the children.
Yes.
So number one, you must create a conducive environment to discuss money matters freely.
Okay.
Because in African setup, money discussions are gray areas that we don't want to delve much in.
True.
But when you make it open that we can talk about money freely here, and we can discuss about our goals freely, then it becomes easier to start the conversation.
Right.
You get. Another thing is you should have those money dates. Like what Mr. Wahome has said, we, as a couple, you can have a money date and discuss money matters.
Money dates, you say?
Yes,
Wow.
money dates, yeah.
A
Just
good
go
one for
out.
the new year.
Yeah, a good year for, as you start your new year, go out for a money date. Just say we're going to talk about money. And you don't have to raise your voices, you know, because most of the times when couples discuss about money, the voices tend to can get high. Yeah, but you can go somewhere and just talk about money matters.
Okay.
Another thing about to help for families is one, you should also understand your temperament about money.
Okay.
Each other, understand each other. What is your temperament? How do you understand money?
Okay.
Are you do you have the consumer mentality or a multiplier mentality? So if you give money to someone with a consumer mentality, you'll get nothing by the end of the day. So if you are two couples with a consumer mentality, you need to sort for help.
Okay.
If you are a couple with one has a consumer mentality, another one has a multiplier mentality, then you should complement each other.
Okay.
So that you can help each other to budget together and do things together.
Okay.
And you see, if you don't budget, do things together, we'll be having like two entities running. So by the end of the day, there's nothing much you shall have achieved. So it's very important to work together.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wahome, it seems you've been in this business for so long. Money matters, money issues. What is your most rewarding habit in your financial journey? A practice that you've practiced over the years and you're like, this one has worked for me.
Capturing expenses.
Capturing expenses?
On a daily basis.
Wow.
Okay. And there are many tools for that, because then it gets easier for me never to ask where did my money go.
Okay.
I'm always very clear. Did it go where I wanted it to go? If it did not go where I wanted it to go, so where did it go? Do I like where it went? If I don't like where it went, can I change? Can I do something?
Okay.
Is it a habit thing that I can be able to do? And that has been very, very rewarding. And it's simple, basic things. I've captured expenses for a whole month, and I've involved everybody in the family.
Okay.
And I've looked at a bill that we call transport. Transport is everything that we use, the taxi, the public transport, the car fuel, the car service, the car wash, and everything. And I realized the amount of money we are using to wash the cars. You know, everybody's washing their car. Okay, and at the end of the week, you realize we spent 2,000 shillings washing the cars, because it's the rainy season, they're getting dirty. Everybody is washing their car twice or thrice a week. Yeah. And we get to the end of the month and you realize you spent 5,000 in car wash alone. Yeah. Is that a good use, very good use of money? Maybe not. We have a gardener. Okay. If you give him a pay rise of 2,000 shillings,
Yeah.
and you buy them detergent of 1,000 shillings, you use 3,000, the cars will be clean. You have
On a
saved
daily
2,000.
basis,
You've
yeah.
saved 2,000. Can that 2,000 now pay something else? Yes. That capturing expenses is that rewarding because it helps you to actually have better focus. And I've taught a lot of people that, and people have come back and said, this is powerful.
Yeah.
This puts me in charge.
Okay.
Not too long ago, I told a client, just do this exercise for 2 months. Let's see.
Okay.
And they came back and said, you know, I realized my cost of living is too high. I am paying so too much in rent relative to my income. And I moved house, I'm paying half.
Wow.
The money I was spending in rent, I'm saving a portion of it, but I'm also eating well.
Okay.
Remember what we've been told, that health is in the kitchen,
Yes.
not in the hospital.
Yes.
So if you're eating well, now you avoid the doctor. You see, so just recording your expenses tells you what do I need to change.
Yeah.
Because part of the reason why even budgets don't work, we pull numbers from the air. And you say, oh, I'll spend 5,000 on transport. On what basis? It's going to be well informed when you look at your expenses.
Yeah.
And I work with clients and say, show me your expenses. Let's track it out for 2 weeks.
Okay.
When it comes 2 weeks, I can tell you, I know for you where you spend your time. What is important to you, because it's reflected in your expenses very easily. So when people come and say, I'm earning X and it is not enough, we just look at what we are doing with the money. And you actually realize some of it is part of what we have as challenges because of our upbringing. Some people had this statement, hakuna pesa. Now when the money came, they live in a way to show it is there. So when they are buying, they will tend to buy the expensive thing just to show the money is there. Okay, so when you look at that, you can almost tell this is what the problem is. Some people, it's a habit that you have actually now decided money is power. And when you go to the restaurant, the waiter can notice you're the one who looks like you have it. They give you the bill, but because you want to show people you're powerful, you take the bill and you settle it.
Wow.
Over time, you're going to realize what you're doing. I mean, and I like Gen Z for this. They actually understand something called going Dutch. We incur a bill, we are 10 of us, we take a calculator, we split, and everybody pays their share. If not that, we pass the bill, pick the things you consume, and pay for those. Now, when you deal with millennials and maybe X, I think we come from another different place. We grab the bill. And if you grab the bill, your friends get to know you grab the bill, and they want you to the bill to come to you.
Who doesn't
all
want
the
those
time.
free, you know?
But you see, that might be the reason why your money is not enough. And if your money is not enough and KPLC is cutting you power, you're going to Fuliza or something like that. And you find yourself into debt. But when you capture your expenses, you will never ask, where did my money go? You become empowered. You make financial decisions from information. We say information is power.
It is.
Financial information is financial power.
Wow. Okay. You've talked about tools that help you track your expenses or put them down, because I'm just imagining that by the end of the day, in the evening, I sit and try to remember. What are some of those tools, very briefly, before we go into a second
There
break?
are a couple of tools, and I'll say to people, you can use the traditional notebook.
Okay.
If that's your generation. Because there are people who find it easier just writing out. But just before even you record, your habit. Do you have paper trail for your payments? If you're paying via M-Pesa, you know you have paper trail. You can always tell. Do you actually ask for receipts when you pay for stuff? Because if you're asking for receipts, and in fact if you're filing returns, your accountant will tell you, you need to file the receipts. Because KRA wants to forgive you for your business expenses if you have evidence. And if you don't have evidence, there's going to be trouble.
You know, the tools that one can use just to track your expenses, and you had talked about the traditional pen and paper.
Yes, pen and paper. That can be a starting point, so that nobody can say, I don't know any tool. Because surely we all know how to write, and getting paper is very easy. And we say it can be a notebook, or it can actually be your diary. Because you flap a page every day. And so at the end of the day, you can sit and say, thank you, God, for giving me this day. But what did I do with the money you entrusted to me? And you can actually capture it. And don't capture too many details. I took lunch. I paid 300. That's enough. Just lunch, 300. Okay. I did grocery shopping and I spent 1,000. Just that little detail. You can actually use your phone. I know for a lot of us, the phone is our best friend. We wake up, we look at the phone, we sleep, we look at the phone. The phone has apps. There are a couple of apps you can put, expense manager, buddy. There are a couple of them that can actually be on your phone, and you can actually use them on phone. There's software you can use on your laptop or your tablet. So a combination of all those things should give you a tool that you can actually be able to use.
Okay, fantastic. Very well said. Then there's, you know, as you use money, as you spend money, either you have money, if you don't have money, stress comes in, checks in, depression and all that. Is there a connection between mental health and, you know, our finances, Maureen?
A huge connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in actual fact, most of the issues, the mental issues we have are they're all around money.
Yeah.
They're all around money. Because what will happen if you're not able to pay your rent? One, you'll be kicked out.
Yeah.
And what will happen to their children?
Trouble start there.
Trouble start there. People will start, like, you know, at that point, you don't even mind what people are saying. What you mind about is what will happen to me next.
Right.
What if you're not able to pay you buy your food? Just the daily needs, the basic needs. You know, it can get to a point where you cannot pay. If it gets to a point that you cannot even pay your basic needs, then now it's a problem. And that is how stress comes in, and then now depression.
Okay.
And most people have lost their lives because of that. That's why we have the suicidal cases. Yeah, because somebody feels, let me get out of this life, because if I cannot sustain myself, what next? Let me disappear. Yeah, so that's how you find somebody just deciding to let me commit a suicide.
How about these people who just, you feel stressed and you go and just start shopping haphazardly? Is that part of it?
Actually, I wanted to come to that because there are some people also that on the flip side, when they have money, it's another thing altogether, and that's why we should. I'll take me back to my point, whereby we have to understand the temperament. Yeah, I meet people who tells me that, Maureen, whenever I have money, I can't settle. You know,
me and money cannot be in the same house.
We cannot be in the same house. No. How? You know, so they'll just find where can I spend it. They'll call people, hey, can we go somewhere? You know, even if you didn't plan it, can we go for the girls trip? Yeah. You were not there when they were planning for this girl trip. Why are you involving yourself? Yeah. Because you feel now you have the money. So then after spending it, now we come back to what Mr. Wahome has said. You've spent without even tracing. You don't track it. So then you sit down and start wondering, I had money, where has it gone to? Yes, then that's where the stress comes in. You are not even, when stress comes in, even your performance at work will be affected, your relationship with your children, even with your pets. You can even kick them because you just feel you're the ones who are making you know. Yeah, so it's on both sides. Yeah. Some really are stressful, but when they have money, because they're looking for where can I just spend this money, because they don't know. They don't know what they should do with this money, because they don't seek for that help.
And that's why people say spending your shida.
Yes,
there's something like that people say.
Yeah. And then on the other side, some people also struggle so much when they don't have money.
Right.
Because they failed. You see, money can punish you in a very bad way. Okay. Because you mistreated it in the past. So that when emergencies come, you're not able to sort them out. Okay. You see, so that is when now also the stress comes in. Right. Because if you get to a point now where you're not able to pay even your basic needs, it means there's somewhere you misused your money. So now it's the payback time. Yeah. And actually most of the times you just say, sure, I knew this time will come. In your mind, definitely, because you are not using this money in the right way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Wahome, should people focus more on cutting expenses or, you know, having a higher income? Which one?
It's a balance.
Oh, yeah.
Both are important.
Okay.
But you look at where you are and what is possible for you. Okay. There are people who say, no matter how much I want to cut, I've cut everything. You know, you're telling me to tighten the belt. I don't even have the belt. Okay? Because there are circumstances like that. The income might be so little. that for the things you're doing, there's almost no lower side of it.
Yeah.
And that's why you can focus on the other side.
Okay.
How do I increase my income? And there are many different ways of saying, how do I increase my income? And one of the most viable ones is investing in the self.
Okay.
What can I do so that I can earn an extra coin? I always tell people, if you are an employee and you're saying, how can I earn more coin? And the question is always simple. Do they promote people where you work? Yes. What do they look at when they're promoting?
Okay.
Maybe I need to go back to school and better my education. I might need to work smarter, work harder, work longer, so that if we are looking at salary increases, maybe I can get a merit increase even if I don't get a promotion, isn't it? We sometimes say, look at the career where you're doing. Where is it taking you? Is it time to change the career? So you can invest in yourself. So both of them are very important. Because inflation will work against you all the time, no matter how low it is.
Yeah.
The side of increasing income becomes very significant. But increasing income will not work alone. You must work on managing the expenses, because God has grafted us such a good way of doing things. When your income goes up, your expenses will naturally go up. It's always very easy, because when your income goes up and you move a house, nobody has been found to move to a smaller house. We move to a bigger house, that's more rent, more lighting points, more water points, more relatives living in. You see, the cost is going
Increasing.
up. If you change your car, nobody goes to a smaller car.
Okay.
It's always a bigger car. What does that mean? More fuel, more insurance, more maintenance, more trips.
Okay.
So just working and saying I'll increase my income without managing the expenses will also not work. So there has to be a balance.
There has to be a
between the two.
balance. Okay. People in the gig economy, how can they, you know, you're in an informal kind of setup, and then we have very limited time, unfortunately. So how can they also be able to save, you know, and improve their lives in this new year with limited resources?
Okay, I'll say that you need to break it down in smaller pieces.
All right.
Like you are in an informal sector.
Yes.
Break it down in smaller pieces.
Okay.
Because when you break it down in smaller pieces, over time, it will be able to grow and become something big.
Okay.
For example, if you are to save 5,000 every month,
Yeah.
and you break it down on a daily basis. So how much can you put aside on a daily basis?
Okay.
Because since that you're in the informal sector, it means that you either receiving money every day or every week. So break it down on a daily basis if you're the one receiving money every week, or break it down on a weekly basis.
Okay.
Then make it to a monthly, then now make it to annual.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Then make it very simple. Don't just start up there, because you want to get there, but just start. Even climbing stairs, we start from one stair as we go up.
You go up.
So just start simple.
Okay.
And if you find yourself you are struggling, you can involve a financial advisor, financial coach, who can guide you through. There are so many vehicles that you can put your money, regardless of the amount.
All right.
And you know, Sally, there's one mentality that people have, that investment or savings is only for a different class of people,
yeah.
you know. So they'll just say, that is not my thing.
Okay.
So savings is for everybody.
All right.
And everybody is capable of saving. All you need to do is to change the mentality.
Change the mentality.
Yeah.
Mr. Wahome, you're wrapping it up in 12 seconds.
This is a new year, a great opportunity. We can better ourselves financially.
Okay.
Arm yourself, equip yourself, consider to look for what to change. And if you don't have anything to change, just change one thing. Better your financial knowledge. Invest in yourself, better your financial knowledge, be able to make financial decisions with more confidence, because you understand the arena. And this means you might have to read a book, you might have to register for a course, you might have to keep company of people who actually infuse you with bright ideas. If you do that, 2025 will be a year to celebrate.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Financial literacy is what I'm hearing both of you say. It is important at the end of the day. And wow, what a show this has been. Thank you so much for just coming in here on the 1st of January, and you people are here. This is truly passion and devotion. Asanteni sana for that. And to my viewers and listeners, wherever you are, I also want to say a big big thank you for your engagement on our socials. 20-316-0786, 316-316. Thank you so much for engaging with us, for your time, and we just want to wish you a happy new year. And thank you also to our donors, the people who've been standing with us throughout 2024 and the other years. We just want to say a special thank you. We are so grateful. We thank God for you, and we pray that even in this new year, you're going to still and keep on holding our hands, supporting us in the different ways with the donation. And if God has touched you in any way, send your donation to our paybill number 316-316, and the account number shall be your telephone number. And if you want to be part of this community that is, creating or having an impact on other people's lives, you can do that by sending the word partner to 0786-316-316 or 20-316, and God will bless you. Happy new year. God bless you and keep you, and we shall see you again next week on Tuesday on Parenting Tuesday. Happy New Year 2025.